Buongiorno, this is Trevor Bond. I'm at 25 Allen Avenue. Allen Avenue, you probably have never heard of because it's this crazy little street. It's like a Victorian little street that runs off of Broadview. Car. And it's one way. There's street parking on the front here. It's got all these classic Victorian houses, and it's a really neat little community in and amongst itself. This is south facing, so the back of this house is in sunlight. Everybody always parks on that side of the street, so no parking on this side. I think that's good. This is an estate sale, which means that the owner's passed away and the trustees are selling it. And so let's talk a little bit about it. I can only, first of all, with an estate sale, it's sold as is, where is, so this is not going to be a lot of boasting. This is a buyer tour. It's going to be graphic in nature. So try and prepare you for the best and the worst, okay? So let's talk a little bit about the house. It's a new window, new front window. That's a nice little leaded reproduction awning window, so it does open. These windows are an older vintage, but not too old. This brick is in perfect, well, not perfect shape. It's really good shape up there. There's some spalling here. There's some tuck point work that's required here. There's been a lot of bounce off of this surface that has led to a lot of the depletion of the mortar in the joints. And probably some moisture. There was probably moisture between these two houses. These houses are infill, so they're built to current code and probably won't displace as much water. But as you can see, this house has been waterproof. There's a sump pump underneath it. It's a brick facade with vinyl siding. There's some vines you'll see growing out there. We'll talk about those a little later on. We'll see if we can have a look. We're not going to provide you with an inspection because it's kind of sold as is, where is. I'm even worried for my inspector to make any warranties. But we can see with this part is shingled, the back's going to be flat. So the roof is, like a lot of things, just assume it needs to be replaced. It's not perfectly flat at the hump. So it needs new shingles. That is a fact, Jack. Okay, let's move along. I've just cleaned off a lot of this stuff, but it looks okay. There's, could use some more sand in here. It's kind of angling a little bit towards the house, not too bad. So we don't really like that, to do that, but what are you gonna do? It's one of several things. Nice transom window. Oh, I'm zoomed in, I apologize. Nice transom window above the door. The door's okay, it's like a standard steel door. You walk in, there's kind of half-decent hardwood flooring, a little slate part here, and a closet here. So what you're gonna find is this house is pretty damn practical. So the closet's okay. So far so good. Uh-oh, flooring, yeah. I can't tell you, I can't answer any questions. Nobody can answer any questions, but I can say that this flooring's not bad and this flooring's not good. I can also tell you that right there, that's water that's coming from the washroom that's above here. That's actually, more or less my fault. We turned the water back on. I monitored a few things, but the toilet upstairs at the valve, the shut-off valve, was leaking. Also, I've replaced this light bulb a couple of times now, and it doesn't seem to turn on. So although the wiring is primarily Romex, I suggest that the wiring be revisited in the house. But let's talk a little bit about just the flow. It's quite wide. It's 14.5 feet wide. The great thing about a row is that you're built pretty much from edge to edge. But we're not a row, we're the end of a row. Technically we're a row, but we're semi-detached. So we are built from lot line to lot line. So there's some good width in here. And the space is good. In fact, the way that the place is laid out is perfect. I would recommend that you replace the kitchen. But again, what are we talking about? Are we talking about gutting this house right down? The house has been, at some point, likely the 90s, but that's a guess, has been redone because we have pot lights. We have what looks like drywall. That's drywall. This looks like drywall. So at some point this house was redone. But obviously this kitchen is a bit of a disaster. The fridge was thrown out because it was not pretty. Cabinets are a bit of a disaster. Unknown whether the appliances function. Why would you care? Ditch them. These lights are nice. So some repairs and everything, but just some superficial improvements, and this house is actually sitting pretty. These ceilings are enormously high. I wish I had the dimensions handy. They're all in my paperwork on the website, but I believe they're about 10 feet or more, just a little bit more maybe. They come down a little bit. This is an addition, so a lot of these properties don't have this back room, so this is quite handy. We got a crack here. Can we see it here? A little crack here and a little bit of grinding, which means there's movement or settlement. But I would say this is very old, and it doesn't look too dramatic to me. There is no basement under here. There is basement under there. So the basement stops right here. This is obviously the entrance to the basement. We'll get to that in a second. All these plugs appear to work. This light fixture, the bulb is broken in there. Again, this is one of those listings where we're pretty much just providing it as is where it is. It's just easier that way. Otherwise, we start getting down a rabbit hole. This back door has been injured from forced entry. And myself and Steve, the extremely wonderful neighbor next door, his wife is also quite lovely. They were very helpful. There was a vine that pretty much went from here all the way up the side of the house. So this is the backyard. This pile is what I've just kind of gathered with Steve. Most of it was up the side of this stucco. And you can still see, obviously, lots left over, some big pieces still. So this all has to be revisited. You want to make sure your envelope is still pretty solid. But there's a lovely rhodo, which I've kept. And there's some, deadly vines. But this is a whole lot of space here that you can capture. It's 74 feet deep. And there's a hose bib just around the side here. I've put these bins here. Typically they would be out the front because there's no way to get them other than through the house. There's no way to get those bins to the front here without going through the house. There's an old air conditioner. Does it work? That's a question. It's another question. Doesn't really matter. I would update it while you're doing everything. Impressively, there is a frost-free hose bib. I mean, the thing about estates is that you can't assume that the house was fully neglected the entire time. That's a nice frost-free hose bib. There's some concrete here. I don't see the waterproofing coming to here, but it's not really that relevant because it's not going to the foundation. So this is a kind of a plaster, stucco-y kind of surface on frame, because you can hear that it's on frame. So again, more superficial work, maybe replace that window and the way it's framed. There's no jams or casings around these per se, so just a little more envelope work there. But so far we haven't seen anything too dramatic, except the dog. So let's go downstairs so we can be traumatized before. No, it's not that bad. Let's go through. So the stairs are good. My ceiling, the height down this is good. This is actually, again, part of the house in general. I mean, if you recall, I'm about 6 feet tall. I've got boots on right now, so I can stand under this ductwork. And can you see me? And so this is a pretty high ceiling. I can reach up to 8 feet. This is under 8 feet to the bottom of these floors. We're seeing some staining around the kitchen, everything like that. There was active water that was coming down here from where I said that leaked before. So let's talk a bit more about what we see. This is ABS. That's ABS. So it's an ABS stack. That means that at some point the plumbing has been updated / replaced. Ask me what that's doing going in there. This is plumbing going to the kitchen. Why it's going out there, I have no idea. Water supplies for the laundry. Under here is a sump pump, which went off earlier in the morning. Does that mean it functions? You know, in theory, yeah. There's another stack here, or some sort of plumbing here. I'm not quite sure what this is connected to. There might have been, I think they're actually, yeah, that's the ventilation that's going to the living room. So all this is going to the living room. So that's good. That means that the floor might not be as cold under there if all the heating is in a little crawl space there. That's probably the access to the crawl space. So that's a gas hot water tank. That looks like a rental. Defenders are usually rentals. It's got an Enbridge logo on it. This is a old Carrier furnace. Do they work? Maybe. Again, doesn't matter. I say you update. You could see in the wiring is mostly, like I said, mostly Romex. We're not seeing any old wiring here. Again, another light bulb. Be careful with that one. That's a light bulb broken out of there. So the wiring is, you know, typical of a place that was renovated. This looks a little older, this panel, than others, but it's still breakers. And you can see it's still all Romex coming out of here, except for this one, except for that one right there, which could just be a higher voltage wire for the stove. So then we've got what looks like a copper line here going in from the city, which we like, but anything could happen there. I mean, it could have been switched over there to galvanized or something, but it looks like it's a copper in, and it looks like we've got copper kind of going throughout. That's not a very big pipe for a service pipe, but it's okay for a house this size. There was laundry at one point along this wall, so we've got pipes here. Again, this water, I can tell you from experience, is basically from that leak up in the washroom. So we got high ceilings, we got a nice big open square space, and it's pretty dry. I mean, it's pretty dry. We've really done nothing to the space. This is what you see is what you get. I see a little crack here, but again, that looks more or less just like standard house settlement. There's efflorescence behind this paint, which has pushed the paint away. Efflorescence is the buildup of minerals. So at some point, they painted over the natural brick, and then the brick breathes moisture in and out, even with some waterproofing. But when I touch it, it's a dry wall. So this sump pump could be just working from the exterior. I don't really see signs of this wall being done. Like, this floor could have been totally redone when they did the waterproofing. And when they do waterproofing, they'll run a weeping tile, which is like a pipe that takes water but not dirt, and it runs it into that sump pump along here. So if this is a revised or an updated floor, then that's what could be under there. I'm not quite sure. You'd need a professional to answer that question, but the result is still, it's pretty dry down here. Okay, so that's our basement. I'm sorry, I haven't really been looking at the camera, so this might be one of my worst videos ever. Again, a big room here. You've got room for a musical, like a piano and a living room and everything. And even this would be the dining room, and it's a very fair size. And then amazingly, so we get this nice big opening. This is a feature that was probably in the house somewhere historically, and they've moved it here, and it's pretty cool. And they've got this kind of danger zone step, and then the step. But we've got an old programmable thermostat. The flooring comes right into this bathroom. This bathroom is actually quite reasonable. It's a 2-piece bathroom. It's a great location. It's not too close to anywhere to be offensive. And it's great to have a powder room. So let's go up the stairs and just give you a little idea. I haven't turned on any lights. We've got staining along the seams. It looks like if those are seams, then that's drywall. Again, that infers, or I would infer, that that means that this place has been drywalled. We got a patch that's happened here. This would be a flat roof over this part of the house. We're above the addition right now, the living room. Got a broken screen. I'm gonna close that. No sense inviting everyone in. Like I said, this window's a little rough, but we can see our view here. Look at that neighbor. That is an amazing wood stove, and these neighbors. I mean, it's a really quaint, wonderful little neighborhood. So these are people that are on Dundas, backing from Dundas. And it just changes quite dramatically to these. It's like a little English, slow adults drinking. That's funny. So there's lots of, it's very neighborhoody feeling. And and that's, you know, that's kind of what you get out of your yard. What you could get, that's the potential. Before, after. Okay, so every bedroom has a closet. This one has, so this is strip flooring. It's hardwood, looks like red oak strip flooring. Could be the old red cedar. So that's a closet. You know, superficial stuff here and there. If the roof was done, I think people could feel a lot more comfortable about doing whatever they want. But you don't really have to do too much there. This railing is not to current legal height, so if you're opening a permit, you might have to raise this up to code. I've yet to be able, I don't really want to change these light bulbs. We've got a big double closet in the hallway, which is very deep. It's almost like well, it is a walk-in closet. Look, I'm walking in. I'm in the closet. I'm out of the closet. Insert joke there. Okay, so across from the closet is another room. This is the smallest room, but still not terrible. So if I reach across, you know, you can have a bed go across this way if you want. It won't leave you too much room. If you had a queen, it will fit, but again, it'll be tight. Got a closet on this side. Similar size. Some signs of, I don't know if you can see it, water or seepage here, and some fresh drywall there. So that's likely, look, there's some signs here too. So again, get the roof done. First priority, roof done. I don't see us having a ton of damage right now. Oh my God, there's vines. No wonder. It could just be vines backing this up. The vines are brutal. Do not grow vines on the side of your house, people. This ain't England. Stop it. Cut it, take it all off. Free it, free this house. Houses need to breathe and let water shed. Okay, so this window still faces south. We can see that little pathway to the air conditioner below us there. So that's fine. Small room, great den. That's the culprit that was leaking, that little thing there. I've turned it off, but I've also turned the water off. A fine sized bathroom, not too big, not too small. No signs of water damage up there. That's refraction from the light, from the bulbs. So it's pretty clean in here. Again, the ceiling's pretty good along here, although we do see some evidence of moisture along here, but it's like, it's just staining. So this is a good time to catch this house. Ceiling heights are, again, probably about almost 9 feet, 8.5 in here. And this is the primary bedroom. So this is a really big size bedroom. You could easily build a wall of things along here, but you get these 2 windows, which are symmetrical. I like symmetry. So you could bring maybe your bed off of here and build out a closet in here, or you could build into the other bedroom if you want a 2-bedroom. Oh no, sorry, that's the bathroom. Silly me, you could have an entrance into the bathroom. I don't recommend making 3 bedrooms into 2 bedrooms. It totally devalues the property. There's a little evidence of something. It could have just been a previous junction box that's been filled in. But again, not too much damage in here. Some peeling, but no evidence of water damage in here or anything. And again, it's been drywalled. So, the buyer here can be, you don't have to go too far. Some windows, roof, bathrooms, kitchen. You could finish the basement, and you'd have a good sized house right in the middle of South Riverdale. Awesome location. So Broadview, north of Dundas. Marmalade, Lady Marmalade is just around the corner. So you could probably just step out your door and get in line to Lady Marmalade. It's an inside South Riverdale joke. So let's hope that I've covered as much as I can, but not too much. I hope you get a chance to see. We're gonna have open houses. Call your realtor to book a showing for this house and come see it.